get familiar. So if you don't know by now, then you should probably get familiar.
Hello students, so welcome back to my video again. I think this is the video part number 5 for you, right? Okay. So now in this video I am discussing a very important application of Lorentz transformation equations, right? So that is called actually length contraction. The concept is called length contraction. Now let us see how to understand the concept called length contraction using the Lorentz transformations. Here as usual, first of all you have to consider the two frames of references, that is S and S dash. So you know that the frame of reference S is considered as a fixed frame of reference for an observer O, and the frame of reference S dash is moving with the velocity V. Okay, so along the x-axis S dash is a moving frame of reference, correct? Now I am considering one object, okay, so which is having certain length. So let us consider that object AB, so having certain length AB, so fixed with the frame of reference S dash. Okay, so that means how to measure the length of the object now is the question is, what is the length of the object with respect to frame of reference S dash and with respect to S. Okay, so in that problem, so now I am considering the length of the object measured with respect to S as by considering the difference of the coordinates. So how to see the coordinates now? So consider the left end of the object is A and the other end of the object is B, right? So position A is given by x1 with respect to the observer O, correct? And similarly other end of the object, okay, that is the position is x2. So both are along x-axis here, right? So that if I take the difference of x2 minus x1, s2 minus x1 will be equal to length of the object AB, correct? So this rod, I am considering a rod here, let us say length of the rod AB is equal to now x2 minus x1 with respect to frame of reference S. Similarly, if I measure the same length of the object with respect to frame of reference S dash, again you have to consider the coordinates measured by the frame of reference S dash, correct? So you know the coordinates are measured in terms of x dash. Now there are two positions again. The position A is given by x1 dash, position B is given by x2 dash. Again the difference x2 dash minus x1 dash will give you the length of the rod AB. Okay, so that length of the rod measured with respect to frame of S dash is actually the proper length, because that is the actual length, because the rod is fixed with the moving frame of reference. As reference frame S dash is moving, the rod is also moving along with the frame of reference. So now the fixed frame of reference is also measuring the length of the rod while it is moving along with the S dash. Okay, then what may be the difference? Okay, you think that length of the rod is always absolute, okay, it never changes. So but here according to Lorentz transformation in special theory of relativity, so we can prove that the length of the object can be different depending upon the observer, whether the observer is moving along with the given object or maybe fixed, so that only object is moving. So with respect to two observers O and O dash, so we are getting some difference in the length. Okay, so the difference in the length particularly is observed by the frame of reference S as shorter length. Okay, compared to the actual length we get the shorter length. So that is the concept you have to understand using the Lorentz transformation here. So theoretically we can prove that how we can make the length of the rod, okay, observed to be shorter with respect to one of the frame of reference here. Okay, so draw the diagram. So here we have, let x1 and x2 be the positions of the ends of the rod, okay, as measured by the observer in the frame S at the time t. At a particular time t we are measuring here, okay, it is a positional coordinate. So you have to measure with respect to time t. And x1 dash, x2 dash, as I told, be the coordinates of the ends of the rod as measured by an observer in S dash, okay, at the same time t. Okay, simultaneously we are measuring the length of the rod by two frames of references here. Now what are that lengths of the rod now? Let us consider L is equal to x2 minus x1 difference, and L0 is equal to x2 dash minus x1 dash, here it is, correct? So then what is that L and L0 are called now? So L is the length of the rod with respect to frame of reference S, and L0 is the length of the rod again with respect to S dash, moving frame of reference S dash. Okay, here particularly the length of the rod L0 of the object measured in its rest frame, where the rod is fixed, that is called rest frame. With respect to that rest frame, the length of the rod L0 is called actually the proper length or actual length, as I told. Clear? Okay, now what about the L? L is known as observed length only, because it is observed by fixed observer, so it is called observed length. Now to see the difference between this L and L0, I will take the help of the Lorentz transformation equations. Okay, so now look at the Lorentz transformations here. So as per the equation, coordinates x1 dash is equal to related to x1, x1 dash is related to x1 by this equation. X1 dash is equal to x1 minus vt divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. And similarly, if I take the other coordinate, that is x2 dash is equal to x2 minus vt divided by square root of again 1 minus v square by c square, right? So that will be equations 3 and 4. Now what you will do to get the length of the rod? So you have to take the difference as per the equations 1 and 2. You have to take the difference of these equations. Okay, so the difference of equation 3 and 4 is here. So that is x2 dash minus x1 dash. Okay, you write it as by taking 1 by square root of 1 minus v square by c square is common in equation 3 and 4, right? So after taking that common outside, you will get x2 minus vt minus x1 plus vt. So easily we can see that here we can cancel this vt and left with x2 minus x1 only, right? So x2 minus x1 divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square is the equation 5. Okay, now just consider the equation 1 and 2. You will see that x2 minus x1 dash is nothing but what? That is the proper length L0. And x2 minus x1 is nothing but what? It is the observed length L. So you can just write it as now. So from equation 1 and 2, of course, here L0 is equal to, you will get L divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square, right? Or by cross multiplication, we can write L is equal to, okay, L0 into square root of 1 minus v square by c square. So what you will understand by this equation now? The object is same. Okay, you are considering the object of length AB measured with respect to frame of reference S and S dash. So there with respect to S dash it is L0, with respect to S it is L, but L is not equal to L0. That is very interesting, right? So L cannot be equal to L0 according to this Lorentz transformation. So that means L is always less than L0. The observed length with respect to observer in frame S is always found to be length of the object is less than its actual length L0. Okay, as the multiplier, the square root of 1 minus v square by c square is less than 1 always. Okay, it is a fractional quantity. So if it is a fractional quantity, multiply to L0, you will get always L. Okay, the measured length L is always smaller than L0. So that means the observed length is always shorter than the actual length. Okay, that is why we call it as the length contraction. Clear? So look at the fine conclusion here. The length of an object in motion as measured by an observer appears to him to be shorter than when it is at rest with respect to him, isn't it? That means L is observed to be less than L0. So that is what I am writing here in terms of words. Okay, so this phenomena of observation of the shorter length with respect to a fixed observer is considered as the length contraction. Okay, the phenomenon is known as length contraction. Clear? Now you have to note down some points here. So if velocity v, suppose, is equal to c, what happens according to Lorentz transformations? What happens to the length measured by the fixed observer? That means we are assuming that the object or the frame both are moving with the velocity of light c, such as speed. Okay, then even though the rod is having the proper length L0 with respect to S dash, but with respect to S, that length is found to be 0. Okay, so it is almost like a point size, right? So the object moving with the velocity of light, you have to assume that appears to be contracted to mere point, just a mere point. So that is also possible, but theoretically we can say that, yeah, according to Lorentz transformation. So L can be equal to 0 if the objects are moving with the velocity of light c. And again according to Lorentz transformations, look at the second point. Y is equal to y dash, z is equal to z dash. So we cannot expect any contraction along the y axis and z axis. which are perpendicular to x-axis. If the object is moving along x-axis only, along that direction we can expect the length contraction, not along y-axis or along z-axis. Okay, so as y is equal to y dash, z is equal to z dash, there is no length contraction in a direction perpendicular to the direction of motion. So we can expect the length contraction only in the direction of motion, not along the perpendicular directions. Okay, so that's all about the concept called length contraction in the special theory of relativity. Okay, so see you in the next video with a new concept called time dilation. Okay, so thank you for watching this video.